Alright guys, so I'm outside of a 2019 Honda Odyssey EXL. And the first thing I want to show you is the key fob on this car. So this car has remote start, and you can also control, of course, the door locks and everything like that. So to use remote start, I press the lock button first, and then I press and hold this round circular button, and that will fire on the car here in just a second. So you just heard the car crank on. Now I'm going to unlock it, and then I'm going to start sliding some doors open for myself here. Pop the tailgate too here, just so we can show you some different things. So let's walk back here to the car and check out some stuff. All right. So it has a powered tailgate on the back end. And you'll notice your button control for that is right there to close it. In the very back here, you can see right now I have one seat folded down and one seat folded up, so you can see how the storage and they fold away looks. So I've got this deep well down here. You can see my floor mats right there. But if I want to throw them both down, I can do so with one pull. And I can put these seats away, and then I'll have all this additional cargo space. My second row, you can see back here, it's on a rail system down there. So it means I can remove any of those, and I can be able to slide them laterally to the left and right. So that's how this works. But while we're back here, I'll just show you that you do have cup holders in this third row. You do have air vents. You do have a power outlet right there, and then air vents on the other side with cup holders additionally too. So let's throw these seats back up. So just so you see how to do it. That's it right there. So that's how you do it as far as throwing them up. Let's get this other one up too if we can. All right, so right now you can see I have one recline and one not. So know that that is an option available to you that you can do. So you can recline them if you need to. So all right, let's move into the second row here. So I'm gonna close this real quick. All right, so these are electronic sliding doors. You do have control off the fob. You additionally have controls right here. And then you do have them up off the dash, which I'll show you where. Right here for them additionally too, and you can see you can lock them too. So that's what's going on right there. Now in this second row, all three of these seats are removable. So just so you know what's going on, and you've got pull tabs. You can see one of the tabs right there. You pull it, it pulls it off the track, and then you just slide it out. The car does have these nice sunshades on it, so it's just kind of nice to have. So you have them if you need them. Back here you can see I do have more cup holders here. I have them in the doors additionally too, so there's so many places to put liquid in this vehicle. So that's what's going on from here. I do have AC controls there right here if I need to control it, and then you can control it from the front too. So let's move up into the first row. So when I hop in this car, you saw that I remote started. You're gonna notice that none of the electronics are on. And you can see right here, it's gonna be asking me to put my foot on the brake and touch the start button, acknowledging that the key is now in the car. So I put my foot on, tap that, everything else is going to pop back on. So that's how this works, just so you know what's going on. All right, so I'm going to start you on the left side and just kind of walk you across the dash and explain some different things. So the first thing is your windows, power windows, the window control locks, your door locks, your mirror control settings, so left and right, and then adjusting on your pad. So that's what's going on from right there. While I'm showing you this, I want to show you something kind of cool. So I have the pad shifted all the way over to the left right now. So if I throw it in reverse right now, I want you to watch this mirror. It's gonna lower it to help me see what's behind me, right? I mean, obviously I have the backup camera too, so you can see I have a backup camera right here, wide angle, a normal angle, and then I've got one aimed straight down off my back bumper. And then the car does have cross traffic monitoring, so if somebody's coming from left and right, just like that, it'll throw me an arrow and give me an alert. So I was actually picking up that car way back there, so this works really well. So that's how that works. Now moving over onto your dash. I showed you just a second ago, you have your controls as far as controlling the sliding doors right there, and you can lock them right there. This will pop open the power tailgate. Right here, vehicle stability assist. This works with your traction control. So in the event that you go into a skid, it'll help transfer power to whichever wheel's getting better traction. Road departure mitigation. So you can see that this is on, the LED is on if it's off, and anytime you hit that, it'll alert you up here if it's on or off. So when it is on, what it means is that if I start to veer off the side of the road, it'll give me an audible alert, and then it'll actually vibrate the wheel to kind of say, hey, wake up, pay attention. Forward collision warning system, or braking system, I should say now, is set up to where if I'm looking like I'm going to rear end a car in front of me, when this is on, what it'll do is first it'll alert me audibly, and then it'll actually start to apply the brakes to prevent the accident. So that's what this is. So these two are always going to be on unless you want to turn them off, right? So moving down, you can see I do have a parking brake down here. It's electronic. So you push and pull on this to set it. Put my foot on the brake, press up, and it sets it. And when it does, you'll see brake come on there in red. To release it, put my foot on the brake, and then I pull towards me, and that releases it. And then a little bit below that, if you can see it, I've got a brake hold button down here. That's set up to where if I'm in stop and go traffic and I have this button on, anytime I come to a complete stop while the car is in drive, it'll hold the brake for me until I hit the gas again. So this is just really a more of a convenience feature. That's how this works. So moving up onto the steering wheel. So I'm gonna start you right here. The first thing I'm gonna show you is the home button. So the home button is gonna pull up this menu right here, and then I can scroll through to do some different stuff, just depending on if I want a tripometer, what's playing, maintenance reminders, settings, you know, if I wanna see kilometers per hour versus miles per hour. So a lot of different things that I can see here, and I just want you to know about them. So my Bluetooth settings now playing, just kind of walked you through them briefly. My tire pressure is kind of cool because it'll show you per each tire. So that's what's going on here. So you hit the home button and then you toggle through the screens with the arrows and select enter. Your volume controls are right here, so plus and minus. If I had audio going, I could jump between my favorite tracks. I could jump between favorite stations using the left and right arrows. My Bluetooth controls are right here, so to answer a phone call, to hang up a phone call, and to use voice command. So this will be like, press this and say call so-and-so. This also works with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which are in this vehicle. So I'll go over this in a minute, but just briefly to touch on this, if I press and hold this till I hear like the beep for Siri, I can then ask Siri to do anything. Siri, send a text to so-and-so. Siri, give me directions to such and such, that kind of thing. So it's a cool button. It has a lot of functions for you. Over to the right side. So this is where you're gonna find some of the features for Honda sensing stuff. So let's kind of walk you through this. See if we can see though. Okay, so if the main button is on, you're gonna see ACC and LKS come on up here in the dash. So hopefully you can see that up in there, right? So you can see ACC and LKS. Now it stands for Adaptive Cruise Control and Lane Keep Assist. Adaptive Cruise Control is gonna be using these buttons right here. So once I get up to the speed I wanna set, I would just press the set button, and then from there I can select the distance it'll keep between me and the car in front of me using this button right here. So when I hit that, you're gonna see these boxes appear and disappear up there. So the more boxes, the more space it's gonna create between us. Now, Lane Keep Assist is gonna be right here. So whenever I turn this button on, you're gonna see some dotted lines come on up in there, and that's what's turning on and off right now. So hopefully you can see those nice and good. When those fill in solid, which will be from 45 miles an hour to 90 miles an hour, it means it's now reading the road. And to read the road, it's actually using a camera that is up in this box right here. So just so you know what's going on. Now from there, what it's gonna do is if you start to drift out of your lane, it's just gonna pull a little bit and help correct you and keep you centered in your lane. So that's what it's designed to do, just so you know what's going on. So that's how it works. If your windshield wiper blades are on, it's not gonna work. It's gonna turn this feature off. And if you're going under 45 or over 90, it's not gonna work either. So it's really just designed to help you. It's not gonna drive the car for you or anything. So just be aware of that, okay? All right, so moving over, well, actually, I'll stay up here because we do have some couple other things. I do have paddle shifters in this vehicle, so I just want to point those out that you can affect the shifting points of the car to shift it sooner or later. Over here, I do have auto on-off headlights, so if I set to auto right there, that'll keep them, and then my fog light controls are right here. So that's how this works over here. And then my windshield wiper controls are right here. The front windshield wipers I pull down, the back, I turn the small dial now to get them going. Now moving over into the center stack area. All right, so this is where the touchscreen is going to come into play and some different things. Let me see out here. The first thing you're seeing is the home screen right here. So I can get access to my phone as far as Bluetooth, settings in the car, which setting-wise, I'll show you a couple different things. Under connections, so if we need to connect a phone up to Bluetooth, this is where you would go, settings, then connections. Then I want to go to Bluetooth, and then I want to connect new device. From there, it's going to prompt you and ask you, have you turned on your Bluetooth? Are you ready to connect it? And then you'll go from there. So not hard to do. So I'm going to back out of the screen. Settings again, some different things I want to show you under vehicle settings. So this is where you can get to your door locks, your window locks, walkaway auto lock features, things like that. So that's what's going to be in here. So I just want you to know about this. So the first thing I'm going to show you is door. So this is where I can set my lock. So right now it's set to where when I hit 10 miles an hour, it'll automatically lock the doors. And I've got a couple different options I can change that to. Now getting out of the car, right now it's set when I open my driver's side door, it'll then unlock the remaining doors of the car. And I've got a couple different options I can change that to. Moving down again, I want to say what we're looking for is actually going to be under keyless lock answer back. Now that's going to beep when you hit it. Key remote. That's not the one we want either. What do we want? Oh, actually it's one back, I think, because we want driver assist, keyless access setup. So this is what we want right here. So walkaway auto lock right here. What this is set up to is it's currently disabled. If I turn it on, when I get outside of 10 feet from a car, if I haven't already locked the doors, it'll automatically lock them for me. So really cool feature as far as if you're worried about getting halfway into the grocery store and forgetting what you did. So just to back you out, I'll show you where we went. So let's start you from the very beginning. You go to settings. From here we want vehicle. And then depending on where you want to get to, you're going to select one of these. So keyless access setup is where the walkaway auto lock feature is. The door setup is going to be the door lock control. So that's just where those are. So that's some general setting stuff. Now, FM is pretty self-explanatory. You can pull up your stereo, turn the volume down here a little bit, scroll over, find something I want to listen to, press and hold, and that'll set the station, right? So nothing to it. Now remember, you do have some HD stations set up in this car, so sometimes when you pull something up, it's going to give you a couple different options as far as which HD station you want to listen to. So just keep that in mind, and you can see HD radio channels, and you can scroll through and kind of check out what's going on. So just something to be aware of. Bluetooth audio controls is pretty straightforward. I think everybody knows how to use Bluetooth at this point to listen to audio. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Once you connect it to the USB, this is where you'll have access to those. So which USB you would need will be the one on the phone right there. So you'll see one that has a phone picture on it. You just pop that open and throw the USB in and plug your phone in. It needs the USB to be plugged in for a couple different reasons, but one is to be able to transfer data to the screen. So this way you can see your navigation pulled up on the screen, your music, your messages, Spotify, Pandora. There's plenty of different things that these are going to give you options for. Just for the basis of navigation, if you're an Android user right now, you have Google Maps and you have Waze. If you're an Apple user right now, you have access to Apple Maps. As of the new iOS update, which I think is supposed to be happening either this month or next month, Apple users should have access to a Waze and I believe Google Maps too, so just something to keep in mind. Trip information is right there. SMS, that's just your text function. It'll read text aloud to you. Car comes with 90 days of satellite radio. You do have USBs. You saw them down in there in the center console that I can plug into. I can plug in my phone and go that route. I can plug a USB drive in if I had music saved to that and just want to be able to listen off of that. Aux in, that's pretty standard stuff. Social playlist. So this is actually a really cool feature where when I have multiple phones going, we can all throw songs onto a playlist together. So if it was me, mom, dad, brother, sister, and we're tired of listening to dad's music, well, there's a way to round this to all be able to add music and kind of socially enjoy it that way. We get to listen to a little bit of everybody's music. AM, I don't think I need to explain that. System updates allow you to update, the system as far as the car goes, as far as touchscreen and everything. My Honda Music, it just allows you to store music to the car, so it's kind of cool. Get to your clock if you need to adjust that. And then Honda Link is set up to where it gives you access to recall notices, maintenance reminders, and there are some additional features that you can get to as far as being able to locate your car, mark it down in the GPS where you had it, just some different features as far as that goes. And some of them are subscription based, so you can look into that if you're more curious about it. So that's kind of a general rundown of this. If you want to move buttons around, so everything's kind of all over the place. The AM was a page over and this and that. I can do so, but just by holding. And then it'll pull up this screen right here. And then from here, I can move stuff around. So if I want to move stuff, I can do that. So you can see I'm doing all this right now. If I want that to be there, you know what I mean? So you have a lot of options and a lot of ways to customize this. And once you're done, just press done and it'll hold it. So that's how this works. You already saw the backup camera that I threw on earlier, but I'll just bring the backup one more time. I've got 3 different views on this, and I do have cross-traffic monitoring, and I do have dynamic guidelines. So when I cut the wheel, it's going to cut with me, right? AC controls are all right here. So front climate, I can pull up actually on the touchscreen, and I can control it from right here, but I can also control the same thing from the buttons. So it just depends on what I want to do. My fan control speed is right here. I can control left, right, and back separate of each other, so it says tri-zone climate control. Right now I have them synced up, so that allows me to control all off the same one. If I unsync them, then you'll notice I can have different temperatures going in 3 different zones, right? So I'm going to sync those back up. Your buttons, so shifter. It's set up with buttons, so sometimes it's a little bit confusing for people or a little bit new and kind of odd. Anytime you throw it into a new one, you'll see the LED lighted up, and I mean, of course, it gives you the notice up here, so you can see the big D for drive right now, right? So that's what's going on. My heated seats, so I've got 3 different levels I can control on. I do have a snow and an econ button down here. Snow will affect the traction control settings as far as shifting points and things like that to help me keep traction. Econ button will improve gas mileage on the car. In doing so, though, it's going to shut down some of the electrical systems on the front end of the car, affecting things like your AC unit on how hard it blows and your accelerator on how fast you take off and go. So whenever this is on, though, you'll see a green leaf come on up there, so you can see I just turned it on and turned it off. So that's how that works. My flashers are right here. Down below, I do have a power outlet if I need to plug into. I got some additional storage with a nice matte finish so stuff won't slide around. You saw the center console that I can throw open there, and I've got the aux in there and 2 USBs. And then this car does have the mocha interior. So if you're curious what mocha interior looks like, it's not quite like a chocolatey brown. It's more of almost like a chocolate mixed with a gray. But that's what's going on in this EXL model. So this is the lunar silver with a mocha interior. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can always call me at 512-443-4300. You can always respond to the YouTube video, or you can email me at the letter J and then Fuller, Fuller, @howdyhonda.com. Thank you much.